many jobs are getting replaced by technology and AI. Now, I'm not saying the replacement part, but if you look at in the corporate side, or if you look at the consumer engagement side, today technology and AI is enabling humans to get to know better about the other humans on the other side, and also equip humans with technology which can make their job easier, quicker, faster, and more predictable.
Automation and artificial intelligence are transforming businesses and will contribute in economic growth while the contribution to productivity. They will also help address moonshoot societal challenges in areas from health to climate change. Hello and welcome to the Honest Talk by Freak Folks. I'm Harsh Pandey. For this particular session, we have with us very special guest, Mr. Anish Merchant, sir. He have been the part of the technology, artificial intelligence inside space for the last 22 years. Over the years, he have worked with the numerous global Fortune 500 across various industries, including retail, travel, hospitality, telecommunication and technology, media, and e-commerce. He was also recently recognized as the 40 under 40 by a premium Indian publication house to honor its digital initiative. So, first of all, sir, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you, Harsh, for having me on the stage along with you. It's great to connect virtually.
Thank you so much, sir. It's our pleasure too. So, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is where artificial intelligence and automation are taking us the future of work. Elon Musk said that artificial intelligence is likely to overtake human in the next 5 years. He said that artificial intelligence will be very smarter than humans and would overtake the human race by 2025. So, my very first question to you is: can artificial intelligence surpass the human brain in its abilities? Do you think so?
So, when anybody brings the same quote again and again in front of me, the fundamental question I ask that same person, who's coding artificial intelligence? Who's building the artificial intelligence? It is us as humans.
Yes, correct.
Uh, and we've seen in the sci-fi movies that humans have, AI has taken over humans, but it shows the tenacity of humans to survive. So, there is that in India, they say, right, that the guru, which is the teacher, always has the one thing which it doesn't teaches the student. And in humans, there are certain aspects, which is emotions, creativity, lateral, parallel thinking, which is still far out from AI. I'm not saying there are not bad actors who will be trying to mimic uh, humans with AI, but it's still far out. It's not 5 years. I can say that much. It's still time. At least in my lifespan, I don't predict that happening. Yes, uh, what I do see is that AI becoming part of our life and augmenting everything what we do. Okay, and we embracing AI as our best friend, as a best pal, which we would probably engage and interact to make our life easier.
Indeed, sir. So we can conclude that the coaches never play. This is the perfect example we can put it here. So my next question to you is: the business world has changed dramatically over the last few decades, and now we now live in a connected society where change can be fast-paced, constant, and unpredictable. Rapid advance in the technology have created an environment where the internet, smartphone, and social media are ubiquitous, and the 2008 global financial crisis and the 2020 global pandemic has increased the sense of turbulence, danger, and unpredictability in certain areas. Sir, in your opinion, what do you think? What are the critical skills required to excel in this fast changing world?
Uh, I would say the only skill which anybody can imbibe or can leverage or can teach themselves is to how to learn. Because I'm not going to talk about any technical skills. I'm not going to go ahead and teach or share that you should go ahead and acquire any of these tech skills. The only ability is to learn. And if you are able to learn, you can learn to bring and manage those muscles which are there in your mind. For example, people say I'm not creative, but if you practice, if you learn, if you everybody has that creativity skill, but you have to manage that muscle which is there in your mind. You have to keep teaching it so that you can become creative.
Yeah.
Same way, technical skills, if you know how to learn and understand how your mind learns, you will be able to succeed in your career, in corporate life, personal life, or any other aspects of your job.
Indeed, sir. We have to actually accept this that the technology is getting advanced by the minute, not by the hour or by the day. Emerging technologies such as machine learning and the artificial intelligence show great promise in the help risk managers pinpoint a specific risk and develop faster response. Do you think these technologies can reduce the efforts or low risk areas and help manager focus their energies on the real threat to critical part of the organization? It's we can say that it's a kind of a shift, or we can also expect the kind of shift on the job also.
No, it's already happening, Harsh. If you look at many parts of the industries, for example, today, if you had to, I'll just give an example. If there were central calling services where you could book a cab, okay, you had to call up a person. That person will do a call tree and understand which cab driver is nearby you, or which cab they can go and book, and that service would come to you, the cab driver. But if you see the amount of effort today, it's been replaced by technology and AI, where either through any of the cab services through your phone you can book a cab. Similarly, when you look at the manufacturing aspects, or if you look at the logistics aspect, there are so many aspects today where in the manufacturing, many jobs are getting replaced by technology and AI. Now, I'm not saying the replacement part, but if you look at in the corporate side, or if you look at the consumer engagement side, today technology and AI is enabling humans to get to know better about the other humans on the other side, and also equip humans with technology which can make their job easier, quicker, faster, and more predictable, I would say, rather than being unpredictable. Because it allows them to bring in more confidence and focus on the creative aspect rather than focus on the data aspect of the job.
Indeed, sir. As you are carrying a great experience with you, so my next question to you is, or what we have seen is that in the past, the digital space and the contemporary technological growth in the world and smart home automation are establishing their importance in today's marketplace. So, what do you think? What are the top biggest challenges for home automation, especially in developing countries like India?
See, there are different layers of challenges. One is the basic core infrastructure. And when I talk about the infrastructure, I'm talking about two aspects. One is the electricity, and the other is the internet. Okay. Electricity is still not that stable. The power source is still not stable.
Right.
Okay. In the western side or even in the far east, you would see that the infrastructure is a little better for the home automation to work. For example, if you have a home automation system at your home to open the door. Now, let's say if you are out of power, okay, that area is frequently out of power because of variety of reasons, you will not be able to get into your house.
No.
Okay, so that's one aspect. The second aspect is the internet connectivity. Still, in many parts of India, or at least in many parts of the world, the internet is still not that reliable, or still not at that speed which home automation. I'm not saying it really requires the 5G or the 6G speed. Even with 3G or 2G, you will be able to still manage the home automation system. So that's the second aspect of which in part of the infrastructure. The other aspect of the infrastructure is accessibility. Everybody cannot own, because the cost of production is high, because the people who are buying home automation is low. So there is a mismatch between supply and demand. So because everybody do not have that kind of infrastructure to buy the home automation services, you are not able to go ahead and reduce the price, which invariably makes it inaccessible to many people in the market. So that is one of the big challenges of home automation. And last but not the least is today is the trust. in the data, right? Uh, like for example, my fan, which you will not be see, is a smart fan. Okay,
Mhm.
I can talk to Alexa and I can tell her to start my fan, and Alexa will be able to go ahead and start the fan. Now I'm talking to you, I'm trying to reduce my point, and I'm not calling Alexa very profusely because Alexa will get activated, which is on my desk, right? Now, and I can see it, the blue ring glowing around, right? Uh, but I just those are the only two devices. I still have a lot of traditional electricity. You can see the lights behind me. They're still that good old, in the Indian homes, the tube light, for example, which is there. Those are not smart yet. Okay, so these are the perennial challenges. However, in India, things are being adopted. You do see smart locks, smart homes being developed, smart cities coming up, but it's still about 3 to 5 years before we see an extensive adoption of home automation coming in.
Indeed, sir. As we have seen in the past 10 years, that now we have to actually accept is that we have reached the digitalization, and we are actually getting many benefit of this. And we have to understand everyone has the same kind of access and same kind of resource actually available. So there are two concepts which we have seen is sudden increase in the past 10 years. First one is gig economy and the second one is entrepreneurship. First, let me cover the gig economy. Most people believe that the future of gig work holds great potential because it tends to be more meaningful and rewarding in more than just the monetary aspect. Sir, how do you see the future of gig economy?
Well, I'm pretty excited about a gig economy, I can tell you. And the reason why I'm pretty excited because today, uh, the 440 law or rule is getting abolished. It's not a rule, but it's the mindset that you
Yes,
study for 4 years, do your graduation for 4 years, and then you work for 40 years.
that's
That is
possible.
completely gone, right? It doesn't exist anymore. Similarly, there is the other concept when you think about within an organization that your role will be constant for the next 40 years. We all know that skills are only valid only for 6 months. You have to constantly revalidate. And there are certain skills in the organization which are transitionary, depending upon the type of a program, project, product, service which you're trying to build for your end customer. Now, for those transitionary skills or for those transitionary jobs or roles, you would not want to hire somebody full time and then throw that person out. You're creating a bad employee experience, you're creating a bad environment, and you are not able to justify that spend and onboarding and all of that. And I know very much, even in my own personal life, and I see that within my own organization, we do tap into the gig economy very extensively because, and we use the concept of the Lego. When you think about building a Lego infrastructure, you would have some base elements. You would need those base elements to create the structure. Now, if you are building a spaceship, there are some transitionary pieces which you can attach. But with that same infrastructure or with that same pieces, you can build a rocket or you can build a car. So you can remove a few pieces and bring in those transitionary skills. But it's that same Lego set. You can build many things. It's your creativity which basically plays here. So gig economy is going to get bigger. There are more such transitionary skills, and there is going to be more roles which are going to be happening across the world, not just in India or a specific
Indeed.
part of the world. Uh, so yeah, that's my perspective.
Indeed, sir. Sir, what we have seen in the past 10 or nearly we can see it from the 1995 after that, we have seen that our technology side or the tech companies of India have contributed a lot in the economic growth of India. But one thing which we commonly observe and see is that we are more towards the service side, but not that much into the product. So, what do you think? What is the scope of entrepreneurship in the product side of this technological and this technology thing?
So the future is not product or service; it's a platform, which is a combination of both.
Yes,
Okay. So I'll give you an example. You buy an air condition at home, which is a product,
correct.
but you look forward to a bundle service
Yes,
where you will be able to maintain, you will have a warranty, you will be
right.
able to have call in somebody to get your product service. Okay. what has happened in the past where you've bought a product and you've really not got the service. Okay. If you look at CPG companies in the past, they might have sold you a packaged food, and they, there is now, what do you do with this food? What recipe do you make? What kind of food do you make? Now many manufacturing companies or companies who are in the food industry, they are having blogs which tell you, okay, with this ingredient you can make this service or you can make this food.
Hmm.
Yeah. When you think about a platform, it's going to be a combination of the product and the service coming together and being bundled to the customer. So if you're thinking of just building a physical product or a digital product and not think about service, it's short-lived. But if you're only thinking about service, it is that service aspect. But if you bundle the two, you have that unique advantage. So if you,
Right.
since you started with Elon Musk example, he built the car. Now he's focused on the battery. He has a energy focused organization which uses solar power to harness the energy, and now he's also building a lot of refueling stations to refuel the car.
Right.
So if you think about it's being bundled together, right, it's not only a product. He's not just building batteries. He's not just building the car, right? He's bundling together, which is a platform which people can enable and engage on.
I think this is something we all need to actually learn this, and I'm sure the viewers those who are watching this session, they are surely going to find this insightful. You have raised a very great point. I must admit this. So my next question to you is, what does the future hold for careers in the era of AI and ML?
Wow. So the career question, often when people ask me, Harsh, it's interesting. And the reason why I would say it is interesting is because it is getting rapidly evolving and changing.
Right.
Okay. The reason is because technology is evolving at a very
Yes.
fast pace. Let's say if you have spent learning Python, we don't know in the next 2 years, Python will be really
Correct.
the next big skill. You would need to move on to something else, for
Mm,
example. Uh, so that's, there is a technology disruption which is happening. Then there is the application of the science. Okay, Python and similar platforms allow you to code that science, right? So there is evolution in science. Then the other aspect is data.
yes.
Okay, these three fundamentals to make AI work. But the other big fundamental is your creativity skill, your domain, your application, your understanding of business. Okay. How do you orchestrate? So, your consulting skills, your project management skills. So, my message is there's not only an AI or an ML skill. Okay. There are all of these skills, and you can build careers around this aspect. I have heard different industry stats that today there are 200 plus different career tracks which are available to an individual when they think about an AI or an ML career. I'm saying just don't look at it from a technical or from an AI aspect. Look at it from other business skills which will be already required. Like if everybody becomes a technical person, who will be the CEO of the company? Who will be the CFO of the company? Right? Those skills are important.
Yes.
Those roles are important.
Correct.
Okay. If everybody becomes a foot soldier, who will be the king? I'm not saying don't, or a queen, right? I'm not saying that you need a ruler of that sort, but you need somebody to direct and take the organization forward or take the company forward. So you need them, right? You need these business skills also. So the future of careers, the future of tech is that things are going to be evolving, but evolving at a very massive speed. Individual has to revalidate their skills every 6 months and have to rethink about their career every 4 years.
Indeed,
Okay,
sir.
if they don't do either of the two, they will not survive.
Indeed. I think you have raised a very general and very interesting point. So my next question to you is, or we have seen in leaving some best college of the India, and we have seen in the country that our education system, or if we talk about mostly about the higher education system, which is going unchecked for the decades. So my question to you is, rather it's a kind of request to you, sir. What are the advice will be from your side to students those who are in their colleges? What type of skills they must learn themselves to make themselves more compatible with the current fast-changing industry and the corporate world?
If I go back into our age in the 1990s, right, when we were coming out of colleges, or when
Yeah.
we were thinking about after our high school to think about what career or what graduation path do we achieve, right?
And
We
actually,
had only
if
few
you will
options.
actually if you will
Go ahead.
observe that, sir, our syllabus has not much changed. These are still going the same way as they were going past 2 decades.
That's fine, right? Because I don't have any concern or an issue with that. I'll just share what I was coming to that point. See, you know, today when you look back in 1990s, like you said, the syllabus is the same. But if you look at the options we had were very limited. At least
Yes.
I had were
uh,
limited, right? We either pursue a financial career, we could either go into arts and pursue become a lawyer,
uh,
or do an engineering and get into a manufacturing plant or get into those aspects, or become a doctor or become a, or if you don't get into, then get into hospitality industries or all of that. So those options were limited. Today, if I look at the individuals who are in the colleges, there are so many options. Like even I have not heard there are so many degrees which are available. Okay, it's not necessary that today, when we were growing up, we didn't have that option that I could think about starting my own company or think about a startup. But today, it's not necessary that everybody has to go and join a corporate career. The ecosystem is so evolving that you can become an entrepreneur, and it's not necessary that you become an entrepreneur in a tech or an AI space. You can become an entrepreneur in a food industry. You can become an entrepreneur in the art industry. What the pandemic has done has made us rethink, re-energize, and reevaluate everything what we do, right? So I know a lot of people who've left their very well paid corporate life and become farmers.
Indeed, sir.
Okay.
uh,
So going back to your point, it is not so my only advice is do what your passion lies in. If your passion is to become a farmer, have a hydroponic farms, or have a traditional farm, do it. There is business there, there is revenue there is career there. If you want to go ahead and become a CEO of a company, you can not work for so many years and then become a CEO. You can become a CEO today by starting your own company. If you want to join a corporate, you can do that as well. It's your choice. But my only thing is understand your passion, learn what you're good at, and try to find that. It is difficult. So find great mentors, find people who can guide you to help you identify what those right opportunities are for you to evaluate and get your skills up.
Indeed, sir. I think again you have raised very good point, and this is something we all need to actually admit that because of the this internet and this technology thing, we all are now much aware. If we compare the parents, now parents are letting their children to allow what they actually want to pursue their career into which they are letting their children. And now we have seen the many examples in which the children want or child want to just actually want to form the Instagram meme page, and they are actually doing great things. So this is the best thing of the technological, and of the parents are more aware of this, and parents are willingly enrolling their children into these kind of such kind of courses and things. So this is the positive change. And thank you so much, sir, for joining and giving your important time. It was a kind of healthy conversation with you over the topic. We look forward to conduct more such session with you in future.
Well, Harsh, thank you for taking time out and conducting this session.
My pleasure.
It's been great to connect with your audience and share my perspectives.
Thank you, sir. It was pleasure. Thank you.
And on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone.